Ooh, okay. So I'm going to ask you a question, but you have to use the mic.
Okay.
2 questions. Are you all ready? Ready. Okay, so our first question is, introduce yourself to us.
Okay. Hello, my name is Christopher.
Hi, Chris.
Garzon.
Christopher.
Chris. I like Chris.
You like Chris? Okay,
I like
good.
Chris.
Nice.
Yeah.
And do you want to tell us anything about your major or anything like that?
I'm a finance major.
Cool.
I'm like a third year.
Nice. That's great. So my question for you today is, share about a place in the world that has a special meaning to you and why.
A place in the world.
Yeah.
Probably Santorini.
Why is that?
I went there with my girlfriend and had a really good time.
Oh, nice.
And it was really fun.
Yeah, what was something that you did there that was fun?
We rented ATVs, and that's like kind of a normal streetcar there. So we just kind of drove around. Then we went to the beach with my family.
Yeah.
And had a good time.
It sounds like you had a lot of freedom, like
Yeah.
a lot of fun.
I was really scared though, because I don't know how to back up without a back camera, and I had to do that.
Oh, yeah.
And I almost crashed.
It's a new skill.
Yeah.
You learn some new things. Well, thank you for joining me.
No problem.
Yeah.
Is that all?
That's it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, absolutely. Whoever's next, come on up. Thank you for joining me.
Of
Can you
course.
introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Angel.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
You want to tell us about you're in school or anything like that?
I'm currently an integrated business major.
Nice.
I'm also in my third year.
Oh, great. Well, thank you for joining us. So my question for you is, what is something you look forward to every week or every month?
Something I look forward to every month would be probably my paycheck. Yeah.
Why do you look forward to your paycheck?
I need the money so I can go and buy stuff.
Yeah. What do you like using your paycheck on the most?
I like going out on adventures
Okay.
and such. Yeah.
Can you tell us about an adventure that was particularly fun?
The most recent one I went to is an Asian festival. It was like a moonlight festival. It was pretty fun.
That's
So,
super good.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining me today.
Of course. Thank
Yeah,
you.
Yeah. Hello. Can you introduce yourself?
I'm Jillian, and my major, I'm a bio major, and I'm looking for an ecology track.
Nice. That's interesting. So my question for you is, what do you worry about the most when you're sharing your views with someone who might disagree with you?
I'd say them looking at me in a different way and distancing themselves from me. That's what I worry the most, because I just hate to lose like a bond with someone because of how I truly feel.
Yeah. Have you ever had that happen?
Not really, but I like to keep to myself more, like a low conflict. I don't like to bring up things that would.
It can be super difficult,
Yeah.
especially when you're worried that you'll lose somebody you love.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, right here. Thank you for joining me. Can you introduce yourself?
My name is Elian. I am a fourth-year biomedical sciences student.
Wonderful. So my question for you is, who from your life, who is a person from your life who has shaped your worldview, and what views have they instilled in you?
I'd say that person is my mom.
Yeah.
Like, she showed me all the values I currently try to instill in my life every single day.
Yeah.
Such as like compassion, taking care of others, just trying to be an example and lead others, and better myself and others while I'm doing that.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing.
Very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks. That's it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Hello.
Hi.
Can you introduce yourself?
Absolutely. My name is Henna. I actually graduated from the UCF with a health science degree, and I'm currently doing research here.
Well, wonderful. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Go Knights, UCF grad. So for this question, I'm going to have to give you a little bit of background. So there is something called the moral foundations theory, okay?
Okay.
And this theory says that like our tongue, how we have different taste buds, everyone has the same taste buds, but they prefer some things over others, right? Mm-hmm. So the 6 moral foundations are care, fairness, liberty, loyalty, authority, and sanctity. If you want to look, I have them written out right here. So my question for you is, what is one of these values that you feel most strongly about,
Oh, okay.
and why?
Well, they're all pretty important, I
They
will
are,
say.
yeah.
I will say care. Like
Okay.
personally, since I'm a health sciences major,
Yeah.
I want to be a physician when I grow up.
Yeah.
And being care and empathetic towards everyone, and like being understanding is very important. So I think that's a very important like quality to have, and something I hope to demonstrate in my future career.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing.
Of course. Thank you. Have a
Yeah.
great day.
You too. Hello. Hello. Can you introduce yourself to us?
Hi, I'm Anaya. I'm a pre-med psychology major.
Wonderful.
I'm a senior.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you overheard, I was talking about the 6 moral foundations.
Okay.
And so they are listed right here, and I'll read them out to you again. So it's care, fairness, liberty, loyalty, authority, and sanctity. And I want to know, let's see, what do I want to know? I would like you to share a story with us about one of these and how it shows up in your life. Just pick any one you want to tell us a story about.
Okay, so fairness.
Yeah.
One time, me and my siblings, I have a lot of them,
Yeah.
so sometimes it feels like it's a lot going on.
Absolutely.
Fairness, so my mom has like always implied a rule on my whole family,
Yeah.
that like if one sibling gets it, then everyone has to get it, because she cares about our feelings, and she
Yes.
cares that we all know that she loves us equally.
Absolutely. I hear fairness come out a lot when I hear sibling stories. Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for sharing.
No problem, thank you.
Okay, so can you introduce yourself to us?
Yeah, my name is Allie. I am a biomed major,
Wonderful.
and I am a sophomore.
It's nice to meet you. So we've been talking about the 6 moral foundations, and I'll read them off to you again, and then I'm going to ask you a question, okay? So you can see them right in front of you if you need to refer. So it's care, fairness, liberty, loyalty, authority, and sanctity, okay? So out of those, are there any of them that you may have seen you change your mind about throughout your life? Maybe something changed in you and you saw that differently.
Probably authority.
Okay.
Because I feel like a lot of the time, like when we're younger, we're taught to like always respect like the higher up in authority.
Yeah.
But as you get older, you kind of have to realize that like sometimes you need to like realize your own path.
Yeah.
And like sometimes your authority isn't technically leading you to the right way.
Yeah.
So like having conscious of that definitely changed.
Have you ever had an incident with authority that specifically changed you?
Yeah, like some managers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in a work place
Yeah.
scenario. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for sharing.
course.
Okay, let's see. Can you introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Alyssa, and I'm a second year at UCF, and my major is health sciences preclinical track.
Oh my gosh, there's so many health sciences things. Yes. Health sciences preclinical track. Wonderful. Have you been listening to people as they've been talking? Have you heard overheard?
Yes, I have.
Okay. The things that you've heard already, can you share anything that stood out to you from what other people said?
I said, so out of the 6,
Yeah.
I believe loyalty
Yeah.
is one of my favorite ones because I
Okay.
feel like without loyalty, I can't have trust in nobody.
Yeah.
Especially, and I have to have like a real close connection with somebody. So I feel
Yes.
like loyalty is just like the one I have all 6 is like my personal one. Yeah, I choose.
Yeah. So loyalty means a lot to you. Have you, do you have any stories of how you've seen loyalty show up in your life? Or disloyalty?
Yeah, I'll say like friends a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of the time it's like friends. But like family is like mostly where I've seen a lot of loyalty where I rely on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah. Yeah, come on. Hey, come on up. Hello.
Hello.
Can you introduce yourself?
My name is Eric Wang. I'm a first year and I'm doing engineering.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for being here. So, my question for you is, what is something that is distracting you from your schoolwork this week or even distracting you from this conversation?
That's a pretty,
Yeah. Take your time.
I feel like maybe like my lack of sleep
Yeah.
and my caffeine addiction.
Yeah.
I don't really have a regular sleep schedule and I drink a lot of energy drinks.
Yeah.
So I think, my like tiredness, makes it difficult to focus on my work sometimes.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a cycle, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're tired, you do the energy
But
drinks.
I'm trying to like work on that.
Yeah, it's a good goal to have. Thank you so much for joining me.
All right, you're welcome.
Yeah. Hello. Yes. Yes.
There we go.
It's up and ready. So, will you please introduce yourself to us?
Yeah, my name's Chris Mundry. I'm a junior, and I'm studying integrated business, not in the health field, though.
Okay, not in the health
I
field.
feel like everyone else was.
Yes. Well, my question for you is, can you share a victory you had this week?
A victory. I just got an internship interview for a sales position in Chicago this summer.
Oh, my
so
goodness.
I'm going to be interviewing in like the next couple weeks for that. So that was definitely a victory.
That is a victory.
Yeah.
So you're interviewing. Are you brushing up on your interview skills?
Yes, that's what I did this weekend. I
Wonderful.
posed it as I got my life together this week.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
me.
Have a good one.
You too. Yeah. Hello. Hello. Will you please introduce yourself to us?
Yes, my name is Maren. I'm a biology major.
Wonderful. Thank you for joining me.
Of course.
So I want to know, what is a group that you are a part of that's important to you?
A group that I'm a part of.
Yeah.
Based off what I did this weekend,
Yeah.
I am a Taylor Swift fan.
Yes.
So I consider myself a Swiftie.
Yes.
And so I'd say that's something that you can find a community in, like outside of academic world and everything. And so like you can just meet people, like at this concert this past weekend, people just walking by would hand you like bracelets and stuff and stop and have a conversation with you. And it's just nice to see strangers, interacting and like having meaningful moments together.
Absolutely. Thank you so much
Of course.
for letting us know about all being a Swiftie.
Yes.
I love it. Thank you so much for joining me. Will you please introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Devin, and I'm a junior studying elementary education.
Wonderful. So what is an issue that you care about and why? Take your time.
Well, I'll go to my major because
Yeah.
I'm elementary ed. And
Yeah.
I think that one that I care about is the way that teachers are treated
Yeah.
or mistreated, underpaid, underappreciated. And I guess that's really personal because that's something I'll be doing for the rest of my life.
Absolutely.
But just the underappreciation that teachers receive.
Yeah. Are you doing anything to help with that?
I'm very vocal about it. I think that that's something that starts a movement
Yeah.
is being vocal about an issue that you see. But right now I feel like that's all that I can do until I'm in the profession and able to push for change.
Yeah, absolutely. Being an advocate is a great thing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see. We're going to do the same one, actually. What is an issue that you care about?
Okay. Well, first.
Oh, first I should introduce yourself.
My name is Sean. I'm an entertainment management major.
Wonderful.
So an issue.
Yeah.
One more time. An issue.
An issue that you care about.
Issue that I care
Yeah.
about. Okay. I'll go the same route and
Yeah.
do something related to my major.
Yeah.
So entertainment management, I feel one that we talk about a lot, especially because like I'm more music oriented. We talk about like ticketing, I guess.
Yeah.
And the way that ticket prices work.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, they like with like scalping and such, people will like really buy a lot of tickets for events that they don't really care to go to.
Yeah.
And they just want to resell these tickets back to the people that do care about these events that they want to go to. And so they're just kind of like really looking for the money, while these people who really want to go to these events, it doesn't even have to be about music, it can be like really about anything.
Yeah.
And yeah, they have to spend so much more than what they should be spending just because these people are looking for a profit. And so I often think about ways to counteract that and figure a way where these people can't really do all that. And
What are some of the ways you're thinking about?
Probably a verification thing.
Yeah.
Like day of event stuff.
Yeah.
Like and just like some online processes I feel like could probably help figure that out and
Absolutely.
find a way around that. And yeah.
Have you always felt that way about it? About this issue?
I felt like I wasn't as into it, but I was like aware of it. But as I've gone through my major, I've really gotten more into it and see how much it really affects people and just like kind of like the economy within the entertainment industry.
Yeah, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for sharing.
Of course, no
Yeah.
problem. Thank you.
Yeah. Can you introduce yourself to us?
Yes, my name is Kaylin Hamilton, and I am the Multicultural Student Center Coordinator.
Yeah, you're also a student.
Yes, I am getting my doctorate in educational leadership.
For the grad students, yes. So my question to you is, what is something you care about?
That's a great question because I care about a lot of different things.
Yeah.
The first thing that came up to mind was myself.
Yes.
At first. But outside of that, I care about personal and professional development.
Okay. So why do you care about personal and professional development?
Because I'm someone who does not stay stagnant. And so I think putting yourself in spaces and having seats at different tables is important to not only your personal and professional development, but just who you are living this human experience. And so I feel like caring about yourself to like diversify your portfolio or conversations or networks is important.
Absolutely. So when you say having a seat at the table, what does that mean to you?
That means considering others and giving and having an opportunity for others to share like their perspectives and their lived experiences or just their insight, because we only know what we know in like in our side of the world or corner, and so I feel like that just means being provided an opportunity.
Yeah. Have you always felt this way about professional development?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it starts back when I was young, being a part of different organizations that my mom put me through, which is why I feel like I have had such a big interest in nonprofits, because they improve and better people's lives with resources and services, which is why I got my master's in nonprofit management.
There you go.
And so I think it all connects back to that as I've done my own like reflection.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's where it stems from.
Well, thanks so much for joining
Yes,
us today.
thank you.
Yes. Okay, so you all have my PowerPoint. If I go like this, will you just turn to the next one? Do you have it? Do you have a clicker? Even better. Can you see me if I stand in front of the table, or do I need to sit behind it? Can you see me here? Okay. I don't know if it works in Canva. Yeah, there you go.
This big green button is going to go forward. If you want to go back, it's a smaller red one, and this one right here is like a little laser if you want.
Oh, cool. Are we ready to go? Or do I need to tell you? So thanks everyone for talking to me today about dialogue, and we're sitting here, we're learning about how to ask good questions, because you have to ask questions if you're going to be in a dialogue. But one of the things I want you all to think about is what words come to mind when you think of people on the other side of political or social views. Does anyone have a suggested word that comes to your mind? Yeah, it could be radical. You might think of the word as like other than us, or you might think they're wrong. There could be lots of things that come to your mind when you think of what are people that are other than me. Might not be very nice things. But I want you to think about what influences people's worldview the most. So earlier we talked to people, we asked them about things they care about, and all of these things influence what they care about. Their political ideology, their education, their religious and spiritual backgrounds, and their life experiences. You heard lots about life experiences, and all these things have to do with life experiences. But there's also something we call the perception gap. And that is the gap between your perception of what other groups believe and what they actually believe. So everyone has a perception gap, and they are created from two major things. Number one is echo chamber. Echo, echo, echo. A lot of us live in a lot of echo chambers, right? I will tell you, I have worked very hard to make sure my social media is not an echo chamber, because if you hear the same things that you think are true all the time, you're just reinforcing what you already thought, right? But reaching out and trying to hear things that are different can get you out of that echo chamber. The other thing that creates our perception gap is that extreme views are the loudest. Extreme views are the loudest. And remember, on social media and in the news and in politics, extreme views make more exciting stories and therefore they get more clicks. So we're more likely to hear extreme views. So your perception gap is not a measure of your intelligence or a measure of your character. What it does is it reflects your exposure to people with different views than your own. And people with different views than your own. So as a society, we are far less divided than we think. We think there are my views and there are your views, but there's actually a lot in the middle that are where we agree. A 2018 study by More in Common revealed that 67% of Americans are weary, they're tired of the social divisions, and they're eager to collaborate. Okay? We call this the exhausted majority. Do you ever feel exhausted by always feeling like us versus them? Most Americans believe the same thing. So let's think about where our differences do. Where do they come from? So psychologists have spent decades exploring this question, and they came up with the moral foundations theory. And the way I want you to think about the moral foundations theory is it's like taste buds. So they taste buds in your mind. So we all have the same 5 taste receptors on our tongues, yet each of us develop a unique taste preference, right? Some people like sweet, some people like spicy, some people like sour. Well, where do those things come from? Our preferences come from the culture we're raised in, from our upbringing, and also from our unique life experiences. Think about if you grew up eating spicy food all the time, you probably really like spicy food, right? Versus someone that's never tried spicy food and they try it for the first time. That seems strange to them, right? That is the same thing when we're talking about our moral foundations. So there are 6 different moral foundations. We're going to go into each one individually, but I want to kind of give you an overview of the 6 here. So care versus harm, fairness versus cheating, loyalty versus betrayal, authority versus subversion, sanctity versus degradation, liberty versus oppression. So the first one is care. So care. We all care about care, just some of us care about care more. Like we heard people pick out their different moral foundations that they cared about more. Care is really saying, I want to make sure that you are good. And care can also be tough love, right? When we think about care, it's like I'm caring for you through tough love. Fairness. We hear fairness a lot whenever we're talking about things like siblings. Fairness is making sure that everyone has what they need, right, to get through, and making sure it seems fair to all parties. Where loyalty is about staying with your in-group. So loyalty actually goes back to our reptilian brain. Back in the day, if we all brought down a gazelle and I ate more of it than you did, and you would be like, you're not letting me into having this. That is being unloyal to the people around you, and you wouldn't survive, right? So loyalty comes from making sure that you are in with your in-group. We talked about earlier, Swifties, right? Loyalty, being in with your in-group. Authority. So authority can come in a lot of different ways. We can think about authority as in a doctor. We can think about authority as in a police officer. But authority and how you see authority is one of the moral foundations. Sanctity is how we treat different things. Do we see that as something that is sacred, or do we think that sanctity doesn't matter as much? And then we have liberty. Liberty is freedom, the freedom to do what you need to do when you need to do it. So here are the 6 moral foundations. Like I said, they're like taste buds. Everyone has all of them, but we've done some research and shown that people on the political scale care about these in different order than others. So you can see from very liberal all the way to very conservative, and where most people fall is in the middle, right? Because remember, extreme views are the loudest heard. But this can help you, this research can help you kind of understand why we see people as the other side of being so different from us. Even though they care about the same types of things, they might place them in a different order that they care about, or their preference for which one matters most to them a little bit differently. So next time you find yourself in a disagreement with someone and you think, how could they possibly believe that? What I want you to ask yourself instead is, why would a reasonable, well-intentioned person think this? Okay? So I want you to start treating conversations with people when you disagree with them, not like you are being a warrior and you're standing up for your opinion, and your opinion's the only thing that matters. You're a crusader for your opinion. I want you to think about it as being an explorer. An explorer keeps their opinion with them. They can share their opinion, but they are using their curiosity to understand other people better. Okay? So it doesn't mean you have to take away. It just means when you're a warrior, all you're thinking about is the fighting the battle. When you're an explorer, you're thinking about understanding where other people are coming from. It'll lead to better conversations and more understanding. You probably find out you might still disagree, but you understand where the other person's coming from and why they believe that thing that's different from you. Because it's probably based on what? Their life experience, right? So you may hear the values underneath positions. This can even help you understand where people are coming from, even if you disagree with them. So our moral foundations tend to show up when we talk about social and political beliefs we hold. If you pay close attention, you can identify them, and it's like cracking a secret code. So if you all want to be code crackers with me, we're going to try this out, okay? So now it's your all's turn. So what moral foundation do you hear if someone said to you, everyone should have the same opportunities in life? What do you all think? What moral foundation might you hear? Fairness, that's right. Everyone should have the same opportunities is hitting on that fairness. So you always bring it back to the theory when you're hearing people say things and say, which one are they talking about here so I can understand this situation a little bit better? Okay, let's try another one. So we must protect the most vulnerable members of society. What do we think that one might be? Care. Protecting the most vulnerable members of our society is about care. One thing I will tell you about care, and that will kind of illuminate how we all have these things, but they show up differently, is both sides of the abortion issue will bring up care. One side will bring up care for the fetus, and the other side might bring up care for the person that's pregnant, right? So we hear care as an argument for both sides, but they're looking at it through a different lens. People should have the freedom to make their own choices without government interference. What foundation do we hear? Liberty. So liberty is about freedom. So especially you hear those code words, freedom, talking about liberty. So here's another one. We should prioritize the need of our community over individual desires. What do you all think that one is? Loyalty. So loyalty is about our group and making sure we're loyal to all the people in the group instead of only for ourselves. Next one is respecting rules and leadership is essential to maintaining peace and order. What foundation do we hear? That's right, authority. About how we look at leadership and things like that. So certain actions are simply wrong because they violate deeply held moral values. What moral foundation do we think this one is? Sanctity. So sanctity is about looking at morals, about looking at different things that we hold as sacred and in how we deal with that. So, to conclude, some of the things to remember, we tend to assume the other side is more extreme than they really are because the most extreme voices are the loudest. And we share all the same moral foundations: care, fairness, liberty, loyalty, authority, and sanctity. We just might use them in different ways. Our life experiences play a powerful role in shaping our moral worldview. Liberal and conservatives tend to rely on the foundations in different ways and to different degrees. And we tend to decode people's language to better understand why they believe what they believe. So thank you for joining me today to talk about moral foundation theory and dialogue and asking questions, being curious. And if I can leave you with one thing, it's that to go out and be an explorer and try to dig deeper and figure out why people believe what they believe. Thank you so much.